To delight in the fullness of being, body touched by the light we leave in jewel or creation that shines as proof of praise. How we honor the whole of this gift and let the tokens and talismans speak for us in true dedication, in tribute of all we want to celebrate daily in the form of beauty well worn.
Hi friends, welcome to Happy Adorning. This is the place where we feature real women doing rad stuff. Today we are with Jacqueline Suskin, who is somebody who does something very special, and so I'm gonna let her explain exactly what it is.
I consider myself to be a performance poet. So I set up with my typewriter and I do a project called Poem Store, which entails me typing poems for people on the spot, on demand. They tell me what they want the poem to be about, whatever the subject is, and then I create it in a matter of minutes. And so that's been my only job since 2009.
Wow, that's really incredible.
It's a crazy thing that that's my job.
So if maybe you can explain the process of like how it works. So someone comes up to you and then what?
They say, I want a poem about whatever. If they say they want a poem about love, I say, what kind of love?
Yes.
And then they tell me something specific, or sometimes people say one random weird word like Chipotle. That's the weirdest poem I've ever written. And then sometimes it's like a really therapeutic experience, so it turns into some sort of therapy for people also.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's really special.
So did you write poetry before you started this whole project?
Yeah, I've been writing poems ever since I was a kid. And I got a degree in poetry from Florida State.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I'm a poet. But I, went to school with all these people who never would have thought that this is a thing you could do for your job. And I never would have thought that either. But when my friend suggested that I try doing it, my friend Zach Houston from Oakland, he was like, yeah, I think you would be really good at this. And I tried it and it was incredible. Like the first time I knew that it was something really special.
I've walked up to you and been like, this is what I want to talk about or want you to talk about. And I'm just amazed at the speed at which you do your writing. So is there like do you do a lot of reading to sort, like how does it work?
I read a lot of poetry and I read a lot of other things also. And I do this thing I call word work, which I like look up words and kind of explore the definitions and like find all the synonyms and write them down. And I don't do that as often as I should, but I read more than I do that. But it's definitely like to keep, yourself as a creative person. I think whatever your medium is, you have to kind of be engaged in that world.
Fig has come to join us. Say hi, Fig. Hi, Fig. At what point in your life were you sort of like, oh wow, poetry is really amazing, I want to do this?
In middle school, we did a poetry project and the teacher asked everyone to kind of give examples of all these different types of poetry, and I asked if I could write my own. So technically I wrote a book for my class when I was in 7th grade, and my teacher was like, whoa, what? And it just kind of kept on going like that. I remember being in college and being with people and they were like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. And I was like, God, that is so weird. I have always known what I wanted to do. But I didn't know it would take this weird form, this sort of like performative, really fast, on the spot typewriter type thing.
You touch a lot of people. Like there's a lot of people that I've witnessed. And then you read what you've written and they're just sort of like, I can't believe that you just did that.
A lot of tears.
Is it like almost every time that you go and do something that you at least one person cries?
Always, at least one. Yeah.
Wow.
Haven't done a good job unless I made someone cry.
You're kind of like a therapist then as well.
Yeah.
Is there a female that you find really inspirational and you relate a lot with in your life?
Well, I have an incredible group of lady friends in LA. That's like half the reason why I moved here. It's incredible to be close to the people who you love the most. And then there's a lot of women in this town who I don't know who I'm inspired by too. I mean, I feel like LA is this great like mecca of just like badass ladies.
Speaking of incredible women, you had a day where you spent a pretty epic lunch and then an epic evening with some people. Can you talk a little bit about that?
The wildest day of Poem Store ever.
Yeah.
Where I went and typed poems at Maria Shriver's 60th birthday party luncheon, where there were just the most incredible women, including Oprah, who I wrote a poem for, and she cried and held my hand. Oprah was like, oh, I'm going to frame this and put this on the wall at my house. And then I was like, yeah. And then all your amazing friends are going to read it and feel the inspiration that you felt, and you can share it together.
Yeah.
I just love that idea.
Some of your work is framed in Oprah's house.
Maybe, yeah.
Person, place, or thing. What are you most inspired by?
I spent a lot of time living in Northern California in the redwoods.
Okay.
And that's like, the earth is my thing. I call myself an ecstatic earth worshiper, which I'm really into the earth and like being in a place that has not been too touched by human beings. I can be alone out in a natural, untouched setting though and be probably the most happy.
So at Happy Adorning, we like to adorn ourselves with jewelry.
Oh yeah.
Is there anything adornment-wise that you really gravitate to, or do you have like a special thing that you wear all the time?
I never take my rings off.
Okay.
Like ever. I think people probably take their rings off when they go to bed or at some point during the day, but I don't. I'm a pretty lazy adorner. So
Lazy
I'm like,
adorner.
I'm gonna keep these on, but they're really special. They're all
Okay.
they all have a story. They all mean something to me.
So lastly, I want to ask you if maybe you have some advice for young girls who are interested in poetry or want to have a career in literature. Do you have anything that you've learned along the way?
Read all the time.
Yeah.
Read, write every single day. Write in a journal. Please write in a journal. Having that private space to like collect your thoughts, to write down your weird ideas, to ramble, scratch out like. That has saved my life. I don't know how, as a teenager especially, I would have survived if I didn't have my special private place to like unfurl my brain and like get all my emotions out. I think that is my biggest token of advice. But like for the career side of things, I always tell people just to pick your talents, like your inherent talents, the things you're really good at that you enjoy doing, and try to like weave them together in a unique way, in an interesting way, in a way that maybe is like fresh somehow. Whatever weird thing you can make up to do with your time that you can find a way to make money doing, I think that it's there's not enough emphasis put on that. Take what you got, make it weird, give it to the world. Someone's gonna want to pay for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
People want newness,
Absolutely.
you know, they want that, they need that. People need, you know, your expression, whatever you have to offer, delivered to them in a way that doesn't seem trite or overdone. And if you can do that for people, then they'll be inspired and they'll want to pay you for that.
Yes, and you are proving that since 2009.
Yeah.
Do you have social media stuff?
Yeah, all that stuff.
Where are you at?
At J Suskin on Instagram.
Can you spell it?
JSUSKIN. Okay. And then yoursubjectyourprice.com. People order poems over the internet every day. I mean, all the time.
Oh, I didn't realize you could do that. Look her up online, as well as Instagram, because I like the stuff that you post. It's always interesting. And some poems get posted on there as well. So check it out. And thanks so much for listening and watching, and we'll see you later. Bye.